Right, so my equipment is shattered and broken and not very good, so bear with me. No, I'm not using a filter. That's a crack right in front of the lens. I'm in a library, so I'm going to try to keep it down. But I did want to sound off on a few things. I'm still vetting Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. I haven't been able to make as much time as I would like to scrutinize his work. Okay, but he definitely appears to be a real dude. Okay, and I suspect there's more out there as well. Although he is top notch, and he did manage to, him and his people managed to sneak their way into to some of our attention. He was able to get himself out there when they were, changing the algorithms, right? Just updating their censorship capabilities. We knew they were going to do that. We knew they were going to do that as part of their attempts to silence people that were speaking out about, one of the more recent agendas. Okay. And yeah, he seemed really legit. Points of disagreement. Okay, the Khazari theory, but the Ashkenazim Jews as Khazaris, you put that theory out there as if it's like factual, or no, they're not fucking Turks. They're Europeans. Okay, stop. Okay. These sorts of theories have to be borne out by evidence, and at least phenotypically, they look like Sicilians, right? Or Southern Italians, right? They don't look like Turks. I suspect, yes, that probably some Khazari Jews did end up joining the Ashkenazim, gene pool at some point. But no, they got took over by the Ottomans, correct? I mean, I'm not like a history expert, but no, yes, the whole kingdom of Khazaria converted to Judaism, which is weird. It's the only time that's ever happened, to my knowledge. And then they converted to Islam. Get it? Okay, so it's not like all of Ashkenazim. The tribes of Ashkenazim. It's not like they're all coming out of Khazaria, right? Very, very long ways from proving that theory, from what I've seen. Okay, and they just don't look like they're from like Central Asia. Okay, they look like they're from Europe. Most of them, right? Some of them look like they're from the Caucasus, right? Because they've got a lot more of that, Middle Eastern shit going on for them, right? Like some of them could almost pass for, well, I don't want to say they could pass for Armenians, but they'll have like a similar nose or whatever. You understand this? Okay, so there's some of them, the Ashkenazi do look a little bit more ethnic, but most of them just look like Europeans, oftentimes Southern Italians. You can't always tell, dude. With Ashkenazim, you can't tell them apart from Englishmen or whatever, or Irish people. A lot of them look like Welsh or Irish. So no, just stop. What else? It said some other stuff. It seems like there was something else that I want to address. Oh, Palestine. There's no more. There's no such thing as Palestine. It's not a thing. Okay, this is part of the mind control programming. They make it look like there's two nations at war with each other. Palestine was never a people. Okay, there were Palestinians up until 1967. they were all Palestinians. Okay, the Jews were Palestinians. The so-called the so-called Ottoman Jews. The ones that were there before the waves. They were Palestinians, but so were the Christians living there, and so were the first wave and the second wave. These Ashkenazim that came in, they were considered Palestinians. They had Palestinian passports. It was like a proto-state. Okay, but then the Zionist Jews, mostly as far as I'm aware, they decided just to take it all by military force. Okay, it's fucking twisted. So yeah, it's sort of a form of colonialism. Alright, but let's stop it with the Palestine. Okay, it's like, oh, it's on maps dating down to 1600. Yeah, some throwback from the Ottoman Empire days or whatever, when the Ottomans controlled the territory. And just no, dude, it's not a thing anymore, because the Zionists did take it over. Okay, it's real now. That's just a fact. You can dislike that, try to deny it all you want. It's kind of like calling the United States of America America, or something like that. It's like, although I guess America would be like all the Americas, I don't know. But yeah, it's not the land of the serpent anymore. It's the United States of America. We can call it America, but technically it's the United States of America, right? Okay. No, what's going on here, and this is why I have to protest about calling it Palestine. We're not talking about one nation going to war with another. We're talking people that live in the land of Canaan, or the southern Levant, whatever you want to call that. Israel, the modern nation state of Israel. They've actually cornered a poor, ignorant, browner minority group within their own country, within their own lands. They put them in literal ghettos. Okay, so open air concentration camps. That's what a ghetto is, basically. But they're neighborhoods. They're just neighborhoods. These are not, Gaza is not a fucking country. It's like a neighborhood. It really would be like in Salt Lake City if all of the Wasatch Front, Provo, Salt Lake City, and Ogden, all ganged up on Rose Park, where where a bunch of, it's mostly Mexicans, which are poorer and browner. It's like trap them there, don't let them leave. Or sometimes we'll shut off their water, or threaten to shut off their water or their power, because they're not allowed to produce their own. And then we'll control a terrorist group and claim that they're responsible, and use that as an excuse to carpet bomb Rose Park. I don't know. I get that outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, most people aren't going to get what I'm saying, but just picture a neighborhood full of Mexicans, okay? And just imagine it creating. The CIA creates an intelligence organization, or it creates a fake, cardboard cutout terrorist organization called La Roja or whatever fucking bullshit. I don't know Spanish. And then and then have them do fucked up shit occasionally to use as a pretext to bomb the shit out of the Mexican neighborhood, right? Not Mexico, right? Just a Mexican neighborhood within your state or your city. You understand this? That's how fucked up it is. Okay? And add on to that you've already gotten rid of most of the adult males. So now it's just mostly just children and old ladies. What? Really? And women? That's the whole population. Such a bunch of old Mexican ladies and Mexican women and children, and you're just bombing them and shit. It's that's what I'm talking about, okay? And so we can call it Palestine if you want to, but Palestine refers to that whole portion of the Levant, right? Under the Ottoman regime, right? Like, it's not Gaza, and it's not a people. So if you're going to go with Palestine, okay, fine, but then you have to like continuously point out to people that Israel's not real, but that's not true. It's not true. Israel's real, as long as the people there, the majority people are Jews, Israeli Jews, and they're pretty sure that their nation state, their modern nation state exists. As long as the majority of people there believe that, of course it's not going anywhere, right? So that's why, I just call it like, I call it Israel when that's context appropriate, and sometimes, if there's another way, if I'm just referring to geographic region, I might be cheeky and call it Southern Phoenicia. That's actually what I call it. I call it Southern Phoenicia. And I could go off on a whole rant about that, but I don't even know if this video is picking up the audio adequately. Hopefully this has been educational for people. See, I almost said enjoyable, but I freaking care, dude. Like, people just think, right? A lot of this shit I'm telling you is just stuff I worked out with a pretty limited amount of information, too. I just, I gave it some fucking thought. Alright, is that fair? Peace out.